first of all, Goofy dog, sit. At least you have good boy. My goodness. No, welcome everybody. I'm just gonna get up and put these away because I don't really want them sitting there. But I want you sitting here for as long as you can to enjoy the songs and conversation. So, with enough pillows behind my back to make sure I never experience a sore back again, which I do have a bit of one, but I've taken a Tylenol. I'm going to move this a bit closer. Okay, what do I want to start with? Because I don't even actually quite. I do and I don't. I think it was kind of the order I had them opened in. I don't even remember what order I put them in. Well, actually, I think I know which one I want to start with. And I kind of want to say why once people have tuned in, or once there's at least one person here. You know, one person can make a great difference. More great people can make a greater difference. You know what I mean? But nobody's just me talking to myself. But I haven't been rolling that long, so I'm not necessarily complaining yet, and hopefully I won't be. Yeah, that's probably not a good place to put that. But yeah, our dog has this game. He's like, if you're doing a video on the phone, I get a treat. But it's weird because he started to run that way, even though I thought he saw me grab the bag. So anyway. But yeah, I should make him sit for it more often than maybe I do because at least it's training something. Good. I also, even though I had some coffee, I kind of feel like still having some. So I think what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for people to tune in is go heat up my coffee. And wonder where I just put the pick for the guitar. And there's something of a similar color here. Well, that's just delightful. I mean, I do have this toonie. I did find that. And it would be a perfect opportunity, perfect segue to say if you like this concert, for those that see it afterwards, I guess, because you're going to be the ones that hear it, unless you come back and watch the rest of it later after you've tuned in. Donations are welcome. I don't remember exactly how they... Sorry, I keep looking sideways. I'm looking for something on the couch that I literally just had. The person who gave it to me, even though they're like, I wasn't even, you know, they go so fast and we have routine, but is not going to be happy with the fact that I don't know where it is. I mean, I literally just had it before I started the video, which has been 3 minutes ago. It isn't because I'm surrounded by some clutter. It's just that it's on top of something or blending into something and I'm just not seeing it. Oh, well, right? Okay, I don't want to make things, don't want to delay things too much here. Like I say, you know, I'm about to share some, or meant to say, I'm about to share some pretty powerful music. I mean, you know, I know that's up to you, you know, to decide, you know, if you feel that it is. I was like, where is that art in the kitchen? Oh, yeah, on the fridge. No, it's not my kids' art that I forgot because they don't have any. But that would be an interesting song. I don't know if there's enough content in it, enough content idea behind it. Same with the Lauren song to like talk about, you know, the stuff. Well, maybe not necessarily just specifically art based. Sorry, I just have to stir the sugar off the bottom of this. It does not dissolve sometimes. I don't know why. It just goes to the bottom of the cup. That's what's missing here. I don't know if that's metal. Just until I get it in the microwave, I'm going to put it here. Sorry, it's a laptop, so it's a bit big and awkward. But watch Sheila tune in. What are you cooking? Well, I had a bun for breakfast. I almost didn't eat. I was going to starve myself, not starve myself, but not eat to come and do this for y'all instead. I'm also pretty excited to do it, and it's true, even the songs I wasn't familiar with, I gave another listen to this morning, and I think they're fairly simple, but the lyrics, you'll see what I mean. But anywho, Yeah, we had something on the counter, and the other person in the house was complaining. Hasn't noticed, but I mean, it was later in the evening, was complaining about, too much stuff on the counter. So I moved something fairly large off of it that we don't really use very much, and it's kind of flat, and it has a little slider thing, which is good if you want to put your laptop on top of it, and it kind of keeps it from sliding forward. Or if I want to put our laptop on my laptop, this laptop is what I mean. So, yeah, just allow me to kind of slow down for a couple minutes for those who see this afterwards, like I say, because nobody's seeing it at the moment. I It's early morning. I need to make sure I have my energy to do this. There's already been a couple things in the morning. Nothing, it's been a nice morning, but just need to take a breather. I go on about how important focused breathing is, when I'm leading meditations like the other day, or just, I tell myself it. I don't do it as often. I know. Sometimes I'm one of those. I can give good advice, but do I follow it? But sometimes I truly do try. And at least with the best of intent. If I think that it's something that would be helpful for me, then I do. Um, Maybe she's homesick, but if I said that I was just 7 minutes in, she'd say, "Well, that's not much. Be patient." And I mean, this is the thing. I mean, sometimes, I've had to be patient enough for a lot of things in life, and I'm eager, and I want people here to hear it. And I don't do bars. I should try and do more open mics. I've been looking into it again in cafes. Oh, that reminds me. I just want to quickly open up something I wanted to remember to open up. I think I have a note in my email, but it's already been there for 2 or 3 days, and I haven't looked at it. Um, Actually, that's not what it was. I am in grief, I think was the unique wording. But I might just have to ask the center about that. Okay. So yeah, even though I know you're a little bit behind, if you're able to come in for a little while, that'd be great. Because I'm eager to start doing some music, even though I'm tired, so I have coffee in hand. But nobody's here, so it's not very motivating. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you guys could both come in and listen for a little while. That would be lovely. I thought that was a one for a moment, aka somebody viewing. But yeah, just on that note, for those people who live stream, and have have a lot of time to do so sometimes, I just wanted to state, even though shouldn't have had to wait that long, and there was the occasional person that didn't stick around, and I'm always kind of curious why that is. I mean, it may or may not be personal, but it's kind of. But I think I was a little bit more than 2 hours in the other day. This coffee tastes funny. I think it just needs more sugar, or it has too much. You'd think I could tell, but I don't know. Either that, or I put too much into the machine. Um, but yeah, 2 hours in, and then somebody. This is something I might even recommend actually to those who enjoy music performances and cool people. I was even never so tempted to do a little bit of an impression of him, and it wouldn't be being mean; it would just be doing an impression of him. But there is a guy that I've been following. How it started off, and I hope Melinda's doing okay. How it started off was actually, and I'm going to do some music. So if Michelle has just tuned in, don't worry, I will get to some music. I'm just kind of adjusting my coffee, and yeah. Um, Anywho, who I find myself participating in the chat with. It was the same with Matt, actually. And he's had 3 or 4 people now. And there's others that I've talked a little bit with, but it's pretty active chat and that. But there's been 3 or 4 people in there that I've formed a connection with that have then came over to my channel, curiously. I mean, people are curious, and enjoyed the content. 2 hours in yesterday, somebody came in and we talked for about 30, 40 minutes until we had a technical issue. Things froze up or whatever. And it was late at night and he had school in the morning, I believe. But yeah, so anyway, curious who's watching, where you're watching from. I just don't want to have to get up again, so I want to make sure that I'll say that's drinkable. I often really like to have coffee with food, to be quite honest, and I had what I'm going to eat this morning. So the first song I'm going to do actually kind of was a last minute choice. Yeah, first of all, I don't think it would have been my one friend, because somebody was there until like last minute choice. Like, oh, something just came up last minute. No, but I think she would have said something. Anywho, for those that see this afterwards or the person that just tuned in, whether this is the song I necessarily would most want them to hear, I don't know. But it is a nice song. It's been special to me when the losses, and I am going to play some kind of deep songs. One of them, the lyrics are really nice. It's kind of similar to some of his other stuff. I don't know if I'd say it's deep or not. It's kind of about becoming a famous musician, becoming a popular musician, and kind of looking back at your life before. And he has at least 2 songs like that. And I don't know if that's a common theme for songwriting, but it could be. Anywho, so let me just, okay. So I was upstairs listening to one of the songs that I wanted to do, just taking another listen to it. And 2 of the songs that I'm going to do have a choir in the background, or parts of it do. And and I would love if I had that here, but I don't. I am curious. I wanted to ask if somebody was to post in a social media group looking for a choir to join me on a song, what kind of group would you post that in? I mean, I guess I could look up our city local choirs, because to be quite honest, I've also wanted to form one. I wouldn't mind being in one again. That being said, if you've never heard me sing, not to toot my own bugle, but I know this to be the case, and I've been musical for a long time, I have quite a range. So I remember one time I was put in a choir. It was kind of interesting how it happened. They started me in one section. The one guy next to me who was older, and I honestly wonder if he may have been a bit tone deaf. I found myself having to sing a song, not that I don't harmonize, but I do it naturally. I don't do it like mapped out, so to speak, right? And this guy, I guess, said something to the choir leader and said, I think he's in the wrong section. He's throwing me off, essentially. And then the choir leader, and who was also older, but whatever, that, again, if you've never heard me do music, it's not me, it's them, because he had me sing a bunch of notes and he said, well, you got all or most of them, so I'm not really sure. Let's try you in this section, which was somewhat ironic because there was somebody who was, I believe, transgendered in that section. So their voice may have been a little bit kind of the high and the low. Like, when I think about, if I ever wanted to change my voice for whatever reason, I already, even though it's still kind of early morning here, but even though I have a dynamic, I think I have a dynamic speaking voice, a voice with a lot of character. That's what I think anyway. And so that's something I've found is trying to fit into a section of a choir is, I'm one of those people, you can't put them in a box sometimes. And the person looks like, that reminds me of a choir. But what I would say is that there are some very freestyle type choirs. A lot of them are university choirs, which I don't know if I'm ever going to be in university anymore. But a lot of them are, and they kind of like, they beatbox and they this and that, which is not what I'd necessarily be looking for. In fact, one of these songs, if I wanted to try and replicate it most accurately, would be a children's choir. But I don't know. I guess a musician's group. But again, if we're talking social media, it would have to be, for that song, it would have to be, people that say my kid likes to sing, because they likely are on social media themselves, which is, I almost want to do that now, but I have things going on this device, and I, we'll do it later. I'm still going to do the song though. But when I thought of that, it was interesting because, really what sparked it was that I looked at the comment section of one of the songs I'm going to be doing. So I'm just looking for something that I've misplaced. Again, okay. I keep putting it. No, that's not it. Anywho. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. I was feeling the pen, thinking it was something else. And yeah. Anyway. The theme of the one song I'm going to do, and I know I'm just talking about them, but I will get to them, I promise. The theme of the one song I'm going to do makes me think of a friend. Well, not just this song, but especially this song, because the type of environment it's about is the type of environment that she worked in, and that I met her in, I believe, and that I was often with her in. Anywho, and I was looking through the comment section, and there's some I might actually read, but there was one particular one that said a name, and then suddenly I hear from myself, but I'll share it here. I hear my friend saying, I know you miss us all, buddy, but we're here for you. Woohoo! Woo! Yay! And there's a song that comes to mind. I love it. I covered it not long ago, actually, but I've already got songs mapped out and who knows what else. I guess they just want to visit each other in chat, but they do that all the time, don't they? Okay. But there's one lyric in it that, like I don't condone cheating, but I'm open politics. So it's kind of like, and I don't know what's going on lately, but I don't know about channel. But I did think those things weird, and I was going to actually. There was something that made me think of mentioning it. That I think this morning that I was looking at, but I don't remember what. Anywho, point of the matter is that she was a big cheerleader for me and other performers. Some just sang karaoke, some actually were musical, like myself. And I did go upstairs and do my other thing before I started, and that's one thing that hasn't been, speaking of health, hasn't been as distracting lately, but a little bit. And I want to stay hydrated, so I'm just, maybe it's TMI, but look past it, please, because I just want people to know, and there's nobody here right now, but that watch us afterwards. If I go off screen, it's likely only going to be for 4 or 5 minutes. For 5 minutes and she used to sing that song too. I don't know what it is, but anywho. And then I went into the other room upstairs to try and find a shirt. The one, I think purple is one that I've been wearing a little bit lately. I don't see it around. Maybe it did make it to the hamper after all. Well, I mean they Anywho, um, and I heard Angels Choir. So for those that I guess it says there's nobody here at the moment, view this afterwards, you might know what song that made me think of. I don't want to distract myself in doing the music, although, like I say, comments are welcome. But again, that would make more sense if there was somebody watching it live, because afterwards it's not a distraction. It's a conversation that can, continue based on the video. And I don't think my auditory, let's call it clear audience, I need a clear audience. I mean, an audience. Look for the applause, look for the applause. Sorry. But I don't know, it just came to mind. But no, not that way, not quite. Anywho, so, I should plug this in. Not that it needs it yet, but, and also, it's amazing I was able to do this. The thing was making some noises the other day, one particular noise repeatedly, and being kind of slow, and then tabs, but all's good now. Anywho, so, yeah, I wouldn't be able to actually hear them singing. But stay tuned, because sometimes I maybe have lofty goals and they don't always come true. But there's a couple of things I'm working on. One of them I alluded to actually in visualization meditation yesterday. And for anybody who thinks, I can't meditate for 3 hours, it wasn't only meditation. The meditation kind of came in mostly in the middle, but a little bit at the beginning too. Also, I'm working on going back and chaptering it. I think I remember how to do so. I started to just before bed. I made one chapter, but I think it's not going to save, it looks like, until I make another one so that it can say, okay, this is the start of that one and the end of that one. So, but, so I'm working on that. And I do have a fair amount of time, so it'll hopefully happen today, maybe even. But there's something else that I do want to do. The weather's not bad at the moment. It's just, I think, too early to do it. And then, yes, I'm gonna try and scout a choir. We wouldn't necessarily be able to film at my place, but that would be, so then we'd have to figure that out. But that would be, and of course it is, well, yeah, that would be very interesting. I'd like to see that happen. But for right now, I'm just gonna have to envision anybody that tunes in, maybe singing along to any of these songs that they know, or just find themselves humming along too. Or if you're like me, sometimes I can do this. I am musical. I don't know what's to it or whatever, but sometimes a song that I've maybe even never heard before, as I'm listening, I can kind of guess the lyric that ends up being sang before it's being sang. Kind of funky. But anyway, humming, whatever. And I can't hear you all. I do have an idea, though. Although my one friend, she was just finishing up eating with one of her relatives and then had to head to work. And yeah, she might call me while she's driving, but I don't know if I'd recommend it, especially the theme of the song. But yeah, I just don't know if I'd recommend it. This would have been lovely. I don't know if on this device it would have been doable, because I don't usually see the option, but if she sent the request, I may have. This would have been lovely. Or for anybody, it could be cool. I mean, perhaps very random if I don't already know the person, but then it would have been really awkward if, like, we shared that moment together, and then something happened to one or both of them. One of the people that she's eating with is, I believe, in their 90s. So, but I mean, one of the people that I'm thinking about passed away in her 30s. So, I mean, life is like that, isn't it? It's fragile and both unpredictable yet predictable. Sometimes in the same thing, like death. We know we're all going to die someday, but we don't know when. Right? I guess if we have a health condition or put ourselves in dangerous situations, it's a bit more likely. But yeah, she's went offline, so I'm thinking that I won't be hearing from her. I don't know what about that. And I will say this: like I've alluded to it, and I do want to get to the song soon. I promise. But nobody's here right now. I should be just resting, but I don't want to just be sitting here either. Um, I'd rather wait to get to the songs till someone's here. But if you've never felt the presence of the angels of your loved ones, I feel like you can't say that it's impossible. I read a comment that somebody said on something recently, and they said, that's why we call it belief or faith as far as about religion, because none of us really knows. Well, with the ability for myself mostly that's how it happens, to channel, and some people probably think, well, that's the only way that, because, you shouldn't be scaring people, but I wouldn't be anyway. Um, I feel the presence of angels sometimes. Doesn't mean that I don't, appreciate online interactions and the in-person ones and that, but it's really the other day in a group setting, and I was still mostly, although I think the people there probably would have been fine with it, but it's one of those things. Even if people believe, unless they know and see you do it enough, they might not be um as certain. And there was facilitators, like we were talking about what strategies help you in grief, what strategies, if you were to make a video about how to how you deal with your grief, and this and that. And I did say spirituality. Nobody is ever going to convince me, and thankfully I personally have not noticed anyone ever try that, it's demons in disguise or something like that. No, it is my loved ones, and I know because of the things that they've said to me, the things that they've shown me in signs and symbols. It's not sometimes super often, and that's probably because even though I'm a very aware person, and I am open to it and this and that, I know a lot of people get frustrated when they're open to it, and they still don't. But I gotta wonder if they actually are receiving, and I don't know. I've never known what to say to somebody really that says, "Why don't I?" I was like, other than it's not your time to yet. It may make sense that you may think that it should be for obvious reasons, but maybe you're meant to connect with somebody else who can help kind of bring that in for you. Maybe you're dealing with other stuff right now. That's maybe why, there's different reasons why you would want it strongly, but maybe that's one of them. Well, could be one of them. I don't know. I really, I don't know, other than kind of those two things. But, and I talk about it sometimes on this channel. I want to make sure I have the energy for the music, and I don't know what else I'd say kind of about it right now. But it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, so like all I can do is say, just to make sure you caught it, for those that watch out, because no one's here right now. But like my friend said, I know you miss a lot of us. We're here for you, buddy. Woo! And I mean, I know how she talks. I'd forgotten until I started channeling her again after she passed away, because I hadn't seen her in a little over a year. And I knew her mostly in a certain context, which was a noisy environment where there was often singing. But as the description says, and this would be good because it's a reminder for those that hear it. Well, maybe I'll say the buddy part first. My step uses it in too much in ways that I don't think are always um, welcome or whatever. But when I've channeled her, I hear her saying buddy, and I think to myself, I remember she did use that word, or feel the feels, you know, and so and then the cheering, sure, some could say a friend would do that, and you could say also what she did for work a lot of times, brought that energy out of her and was good to have in what she did. Um, but honestly and truly, it wasn't just in work. She honestly and truly wanted people to do well, wanted to let them feel seen and heard and appreciated. And she knew talent. She knew talent when she heard it. And even if somebody didn't have as much as some people do, you know, she was still pretty encouraging. And she just said to me, just the type, it's who I am. And I know. And, there are lots of people like that. It is true. But that does not make it easy sometimes to accept, even with disability, it's still human. Easy to accept that, she's up there now. And I and her other loved ones aren't. You know, yes, if you have a lovely ability like I do, that helps. But and she's not down here like she used to be. You know, for the underdogs, and just yeah. She's like, I'm sure you'll get deep again in this video, but can we dance now? And that's interesting because maybe some of these, I don't know if I'd say that this one is all that dancey of a song, but it does mention dancing in it. So I know that's what she means. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Woo! She says, I just want to take a moment for myself. Just a very quick moment. Because, of course, I knew what they look like. And actually, I've lost a lot of loved ones. It's not just this person. So, I mean, I've got an audience there. But again, I appreciate the audience here, too. And I don't get out and perform much. I don't drive, like I say. I don't like bars much. Yeah, I just don't. And she actually did just make a little side comment there. She's like, which is funny because we kind of knew each other from a bar. But I was younger then. I was younger then. Take me back to when we had evening weekend jobs and we got paid. That's a nice song too, actually. 90 is quite fast to drive though. I associate it with something else, but and if it was winter, or like I'm kind of holding on to a song that's popped up a couple times to me until at least late September, early October, and I would say 18 would be another one. God's will is the other one. But yeah, and just a reminder, I'm hoping that somebody that sees this after the fact will still be here, because the reminder that if you have the time and you pace yourself, whether you edit afterwards or not, because that can be a little finicky. People will watch at least sometimes, or they'll watch sections of it. And yesterday was a great example of, say, I was rolling for almost a little more than 2 hours, before someone came in and we had a lovely chat. So again, I don't think I and other great creators should have to wait that long, when they're live streaming for somebody to come in. But that's something else I would encourage. Whether you feel specific messages, signs, or symbols from your loved ones, I sometimes do this not super consciously, just naturally, I guess. And sometimes, I don't notice that I'm doing it. But think of your loved ones that have passed away or who are just far away. If you can't bring them in, think of the people who would love to be there and who you'd like to have there, and let that motivate you. It's interesting to verbalize that because I don't know if I ever have. That being said, my friend is back online where we're chatting. I think she just came into the messages, but I think she probably also just arrived at work. And I know the kind of work she does. It is also still kind of the summer. I don't have a sense, although she has ADHD and she seems to multitask pretty well, but I don't quite I have a sense as to how busy it is where she works. And I should probably actually. Well, that's weird. I'm in a group online and it's been sending messages to my inbox, like this chat that was created. I don't really want to hide it from my inbox or mark it as read because something new will make it unread. Apparently it is muted, but I guess it's staying near the top, even though my inbox has been a little bit active lately. It ebbs and flows. It's been a bit more active lately, in quite honesty. With that connection that I made from group. Hope she finds the right channel because there's an old one too. And somebody from another group who might be able to help make one of my dreams come reality. And the other friend I've been alluding to. And somebody I came across, I can't remember how at the moment, but I wanted to send them something. That was weird. I thought about that page and that came in again. Somebody from a group. Anyway, I don't need to be sitting here talking about my inbox. Somebody from a TV show that I watched, actually, that not a celebrity, but I mean, I think she's pretty well known for her career. She was just on a reality show. Anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, so anyway, I guess I'm going to do that because I'd like to get started while I still have the energy, because I would kind of like to try and do all of the songs that I have lined up. And the two of them, I'm hoping they'll be easy enough to kind of wing it with the amount of familiarity I have. Although I've noticed that there's been a couple of times recently where it's like, no, I can't do that one right now. I'll have to, I can't do that one. Maybe there's another one. That's what I actually would say. Or I'll read the lyrics, but, I do plan to cover them. So she probably came into that message and then I don't think she would intend to ignore me. So somebody at work probably distracted her. She isn't wrong when she says that it's actually kind of a blessing that I have a mostly undistracted environment. I get distracted. You can only have so much direction or pull towards something before, something else, especially with the internet and devices. But the one thing I want to do, I don't think I'd do it until at least 11. The other thing, and I'm not sure, the other thing is picking up a program for a festival that I think they're going to have at a library. And there was a time that was actually kind of interesting. This is more storytelling than anything. When I went there and found out they didn't open till noon, which was really odd. It's and there was a park nearby. I didn't even really, and it's a little rough, but I didn't even realize it was there because I don't know. I often go past that area pretty quickly. Sometimes I'm in a car. Sometimes I'm not quite at that corner, or or like back in the day when I used to do the library reviews, I would just arrive there and go right in. But because I was early the one day and I, didn't want to go too far. I can't remember what the weather was like, but I think it was decent. I hung out there and actually took another bike ride and discovered another interesting area. So, but the weather might be a little bit iffy today to look at that. So the first song that I'm going to do is Dancing in the Sky. And there was somebody very briefly there, and they're like, it doesn't sound like you're doing music. And it's like they didn't say that, but maybe they meant it and felt it. It's like, so what? But yeah, so I'm going to take my own advice on this one. That people might enjoy this afterwards. I did ramble a bit more than intended, but whatever. It's whatever. I've got it all set up. I'm in the mode, so I'm just going to keep rolling. And at the moment, since there's nobody here, I'm just going to play anyway. And know that as much as I value the YouTube community and opportunities in person, I also value my loved ones and their presence from heaven. Their presence is a gift, and I hope you'll feel mine is as well. Now, I still don't know where that pick is. Maybe I should have been looking while I was rambling. Oh, right here. Okay. Hey, here we go, baby. I probably know this one by memory, but just so not to be distracted. Although there's something, even if it's not saying when they left, just saying that, I don't know. But then, I would expect the statistics to be better. But you know what? I've seen other people with fairly good content and quite high views. Sometimes I feel bad for them and comment to them, and I know other people do the same for people. Sometimes it's kind of like, this should have more comments, more views, more likes, especially sometimes when you see the number of views. I don't understand it. Like other people's as well. There was one that was like a drum orchestra. Sounds cool, right? And I commented that, and he said, that's not what this channel is about. This isn't, And so, yeah, I think I was referencing it earlier the other day, and I think that kind of came up. It's like, it's to be an academic perspective, blah, 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 blah. Anywho. Now, it's interesting. Sometimes I will just quickly say, with the ability that I was mentioning, like, I'll find out that they've met another loved one up there, or all I have to do is, certainly not all the time, and maybe I'm thankful for that, but all I have to do sometimes is think about them, and boom, they're there. And in fact, the last time I did, I had somebody comment. I can't remember the specifics. It was a few months ago, but there was a part of me that almost felt like they knew the person, but I think that's just how I felt in the moment, because the comments were vague but slightly awkward. It was just a sense I was getting, but it may have been wrong. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes, I don't know. Certainly not all the time, but sometimes all you have to do is think of them. And I think it was Ray that said, she's here. I would assume that Ray already knows that I know that Ariel passed away. Okay, didn't know, but she's actually here. Which, okay. And I think it looked like her when we watched her back again. She says it's interesting the souls that we come in contact with here, too. As you know, my buddy, life does go on, but in a different way. Heaven is similar, but everything is softer. It's interesting. I don't know if I've ever had them tell me that. I've been doing this. I'm 39. I've been doing it for 25 since I was 25. Here and there, I haven't sometimes gotten a lot of practice with it, so it's just whenever I sense. And again, I'm surprised I don't more often. But it's also you need the energy. I don't know. I should research that really. But anyway, everything's softer. Sounds are softer. Colors, maybe it sounds like she's saying, are a little bit softer. But she says, but we will hear you. We will hear you. And we also read your thoughts, she says. And but there is a lot of similarities. They make connections up there with people. And sometimes I've noticed that I feel like I come in not often, but like a couple of days ago, I feel like I come in contact with somebody where maybe that our angels are trying to connect us, and they've met each other as well. I should have said this long before then. I sometimes don't think to, because I think that it already comes across in beautiful ways, and I don't really watch, media that represents, the supernatural and ghosts in a kind of a scary or whatever light. Um, One show I did used to like to watch is Touched by an Angel, so it's a little bit like that actually. Um, which would be another song, although yeah, yeah, there's that one. I was sure I'd found this before. Hmm. What I was trying to find was the song by Della Reese, who was in Touched by an Angel. It sounds like this: I've been touched by an angel. I've been touched by an angel. I don't remember the rest of it, but anywho, I mean, part of me thinks, okay, just accept that Ariel's in the angel choir / crowd. Um, and I believe I did channel her once, but I believe also that they're trying to encourage me to talk to her now, and she's trying to encourage it. Just to say, I wish you lots of luck, bud. I've heard you a few times. I think you're talented. Um, and I think that you've seen me. I think that you think I'm talented. Um, and it sounds like she's kind of asking. And yeah, I mean, I think that you had quite a dynamic. You had personality and spunk. And she's like, "Well, thank you, darling." And that's kind of energy I remember having in the video I saw, plus the time I channeled her actually. And she says, and I expected something a little bit deeper. I mean, I allowed it to happen because I was quite curious. And she says, in fact, I thought I heard it slightly differently worded, but she's saying it again because I was rambling. She's saying, "Can we get on with singing, please?" And those of you who are familiar with her, and I should state, because some people might be like, "Wow, I never expected to come across this on YouTube today," and and you might be in the process of saying, "Are you marking my loved one?" No, no, not in a mean way. I'm not intending to in a mean way. Um, like I say, there's a possibility that some people that parody her are doing so because they thought she was strange and whatever. She was unique, it's true, but there are other people that are parodying her because they liked her, and they're keeping her legacy alive. You could say too. So, and it's interesting. Before I started this song, why did the background? I just want to make sure the background catches up. It's frozen. Hmm. I have a feeling it's suddenly going to catch up by like 20 or 30 seconds. Okay, am I moving now? Okay, good. And somebody, hopefully people that have tuned in afterwards, nobody's here now, which may be a good thing because it did. It just froze up for like 10 minutes. No, not 10 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes. I like to be accurate. And man, it's warm in here, even with the AC on. I'm gonna take this off. I haven't even started playing music yet. I really intended to long before now. I'm sorry. Blame the angels. Just kidding. But partially. But happy for their presence. But good enough. I can get much of that out. Okay. With the acceptance that I have my angels with me right now because nobody else is. Hopefully there will be others later. I've got this video all set up. I'm in the mode, so I'm going to do it. And before I started, maybe because I was just talking with her, but I honestly see them all kind of swaying back and forth. And it's true, actually, when I think about it. I'm not, because I want the new me to be the one I want to sing about. I'm going to wait for that boobly one, in some ways. But sway with me. I'm going to look that one up to maybe do later because I was thinking about his music the other day. But anyway, this is a very kind of sway-y kind of song. So here we go. For some reason it sounds louder than it did last night, but I think it's because of the pick, I guess. I don't know. I was using a coin the other day, but anyway, here we go. Tell me what does it look like in heaven? Is it? It's free like they say. This is shine bright forever. Have your fear and your pain gone away. Here on earth feels like most everything good is missing. Too late. Not mean to be distracting with my movements, but I'm feeling into this. And here on earth, everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I'll be dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. Yeah, don't know what they have. I bet it's nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me what you up in heaven. How you day filled with love and light. There's music I heard and invented. It's interesting that they're asking, but I feel like it's a yes, like I did at Chris's event. Tell me, are you happy? Are you all alive? Here on earth, it feels like most everything good is missing. Here on earth, everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I'll be dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. Yeah, angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven to arrive. But keep living. If you're struggling, reach out. If you don't feel like you have anyone to reach out to, you can talk to me. We got a like there. I appreciate it. Just putting on some chapstick here. Doesn't look like anybody's here, but sometimes that's on delayed or not accurate. But we do have a like. But I also realized I was playing a deep song that might have been familiar to somebody. So, but like it says in the description, feel the feels. Now I've done a lot of talking, so I kind of want to. I don't want to end this video and forget to do my original though. So, and also that, and I'd love to put that in the fridge, but I don't want to get the dog. I don't want to leave the screen. Do we have somebody here? Don't be shy to comment. Well, since the dog just got up and I dropped something, I'm just going to put my coffee in the fridge. Oh, I thought I taped this. I guess I just taped one side of it. Why are you wandering around like that, Sonny? We're not going anywhere, so do that. Get to the land of heaven and music and YouTube. Nicely validating too to get a like during that, because even if it wasn't from me. That was interesting, but last I did something with that. I never even got that part of the video yet. Okay, so this does not want to tape. Not want to stick. There we go. I think maybe kind of, sort of, kind of, maybe. I mean, this is being awkward too, but that definitely requires interaction to go anywhere with that. Do I want to do my original? I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't want somebody to hear it or not in its entirety, only because, but if you're here, afterwards, if you've made it this far or you're here, that's great. That's fine. I'm not looking for feedback. I'm pretty happy with this, and it just kind of came out of me. I wondered if it was maybe because of a comment I'd read on another video. I don't know. I mean, I hadn't been awake super long, maybe 30, 40 minutes, and next thing I know, this song just pours out of me. But, I don't know if I'm ever going to have an album release. I did try and make a homemade Christmas one year. And G's made one, so I could utilize that, but he's also got the skills, and it would be cheaper. But we have different styles of different approaches, and I don't want there to be a clash. And his is a bit similar to a lot of producers, and even my brother who does it in France now. I don't know if he'd be. I mean, particular. I'm actually a little bit worried about him. I could say, because I've emailed him a couple times recently. He can be slow to respond. Feels like he's been a little bit more slow to respond, and I don't know. I was actually looking at somebody's pictures and they were, I want to say Italy though, but they lived near the vineyards and everything. And as much as that sounds nice, it was just a bunch of green lushness. And somebody asked me recently, do you think you'd prefer to live in the country? And I says, well, I've been so used to living in the city. I think I'd get out there, enjoy it for a little while, and go stir crazy. Even if I don't go out and do a lot and can't afford to, or easily, get to a lot of things, knowing that essentially I just have to kind of look on my street and see, especially, something going on lately, but, activity. But having company in the back, it makes it a bit more worth it. I mean, I don't know. I feel, I don't know. Mixed with that. But, yeah, so, yeah. Oh, but so the thing is that, I don't want there to be a copyright issue, but I know exactly when I wrote it. And the email on this thing's a bit wonky, which is where I have it typed. But it, I don't know if this would be obvious or not, but I think it would be to me. I know when I wrote, like I say, time of day, date that I wrote it, and create your own stuff, even if you use AI. It makes things better these days, or collab with somebody else. This is my content. I mean, covers is one thing. This is my content, but I think and it worked into the title quite nicely, I think too, right? I think I'm going to try this song. that I wrote. I do know think I've been obvious about a certain detail. And at the moment, all I've got it titled as is hugs. Whether that will evolve and change into something different or stay that simple, I don't know. You know, sometimes the title can be within the lyrics. So I'd be curious. Fortunately, there's nobody watching right now, although I don't know, maybe will tell me, I don't know. Sometimes if I'm in the mode of like paying attention to the video, not that it wasn't earlier when I was kind of, because some of that was channeled live, some of it was channeled earlier and I was sharing it, and the more you hear, if you aren't sure if you believe, hopefully the more you'd believe. Um, I know how real it's been for me and how nice it's been, although deep sometimes. But anywho, you know, but I somewhat feel like, I don't know, I'm going to be so focused on this, whether there's anybody here or not, and the other songs I want to finally get to, that I might not hear a title from them. But I also feel like, just for a moment here, I mean, and like I say, I have a lot of loved ones in heaven. So even though I have this ability, and sometimes the thing is too, is some of them, sometimes it's like there's more than one of them feeling the same thing. And there is a part of me that does not mean that I'm not open to suggestions on this. The rest of the song, I'm, like I say, mostly happy with. Yes, I'm using my common chord pattern, but whatever. But I'm kind of thinking they are saying, I'm going to just hide the title of this one in this window that's up. That they are saying just it's motivating to know that in certain spots, somebody's tuning in, and if you get a like, so that's kind of what I like to watch too. But they're kind of just saying, that title's fine too. In fact, yes, I'm remembering, but I also feel like Ray is kind of saying, you remember a song that you actually heard me sing at my funeral. I know that sounds a little awkward to some maybe, but no, like everybody did. Everybody heard her sing it, in a way. And she says, again, really sorry you haven't gotten to do your show yet. Keep sending out invites. Keep trying to stay motivated. We wish you luck with the drop-in center that you're trying to open. And, just in general in your life, bud, we want you to be happy. We want you to feel fulfilled and loved. And she really just said gratified, and, yeah. So she's like, I know that my passing was still very recent, and so maybe it is the hardest one to accept. I don't know. I'm guessing. She says, and I know that you've felt me with you, and that's been helpful and powerful for you and both of us. But I don't know. At least a couple of the others here got the impression that you're happy to just hear from any of us, but because mine has just been a few months, that you have a especially strong hope to keep our connection as alive as we can with each other. And I want that too, bud. And she says, and this is so cool. This is so cool. Anytime I can talk with you this way, she says, in life, when I think I wrote this at the printer actually. In life, I was a pretty open-minded person. And she says, and she says, I will say I had a bit of skepticism. I couldn't know for sure. But she says, now that she's here, and I do sense that she's saying, and I feel like she said this before, that they did visit a medium who was just kind of so right about two or three things, but sometimes it's not about being right about something, it's about a nice message being delivered. Anywho, and she's like, no, I'd agree with that, but she says, but there was some things like that's a little, that doesn't resonate. But she says, I have been able to watch over my loved ones. She says, I'm sad they can't necessarily see me or pick up on me. Of course, I'm sad about that. But she says, She says, you can maybe relate, buddy, to the fact that being able, it's similar for me on this side. She says, being able to channel and feel the connection still, not just memories, but feel a connection in these ways. It's both hard and sad and deep, but also very special. She says, it's so special. She says, I don't know if you can see, but speaking of people's eyes welling up with tears, she says, I'm smiling and crying at the same time. I don't know where our dog is right now. I'm a little bit curious. Oh, he's over there. But she says, he's okay, buddy. I know he is. But she says, because I really miss my loved ones. And I know that a lot of them are having a really hard time with my passing. But she says, at the same time, it's so special for her to be able to watch over them, including me. Proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you. I know sometimes you don't necessarily feel like you're doing things worthy of being proud of, or that your life is what you want it to be, but we're all proud of you here, buddy. So thank you for that. All of that. And then Ariel chimes in with, now can we get on with singing? You sappy people. You know, and one thing I've learned also from them is that they do feel emotions, just not as deeply. So if someone was to say, well, that seemed pretty deep, it's not that it wasn't, but I think it's also how it came through me. And it's interesting to realize that. And I don't know where I'd fit it into this song. And they can kind of go through objects, I feel like, at the same time. Like I say, she hasn't passed away that long, so maybe she's still getting used to that. Or maybe she, maybe it's not something she's done very often, because they don't need to. But she's like, but yet the guitar is sitting beside me, kind of in the way of getting to me. And I sense like she's saying, can we move this for a moment? And she's like, it's really, really sad for me that nobody's watching this at the moment during, but you got this, buddy. Can I give you a hug? And what makes that real, what helps that feel most strong, is if you can hug yourself. I know it may be a little awkward, but perhaps a lot of us do that when we're needing comforting. We just hold on to ourselves if that's all we got at a particular time. And she said that's just a little encouragement from all of us. And Ariel's over there saying, are we ever going to get on with the singing? But she's like, just kidding. That was very tender, she says. And it was. Oh, no. I want to do my original song, so I don't want to see this one right now. Okay. Fairly fresh still, but here we go. As I put the... And y'all know it's very special to me that you're here and that our dog's over there. And so I'm very thankful for those things. But some viewers, especially ones that comment, but viewers in general would be absolutely adorable, absolutely delightful. I don't know why I said adorable, but maybe adorable. Who knows? I said the wrong bull. the wrong bull. Anyway. Yeah, so I think we talked about that. Okay. There was another song that I was going to look up. Oh, I think I did, and I couldn't find it in the other one. I was a little unsure about. Okay, so we go. lovely for somebody to be here from the start. She says, we're here. We're here. And don't forget that whether we got to hug often, in his life or otherwise, we got lots of them. And we hope other people do too. So this is a song called Hugs. Welcome. The ones you remember, it's the ones you remember getting when somebody passes away. Feel the feels. The ones you remember needing when you've had a hard day. The ones you couldn't get, and the ones that went way too fast. The ones you wish for in the future, and the ones you hold on to from the past. It's the ones where you... And the person left. Again. Did they not hear me say feel the feel? Sorry. This is just a rough version. I'll do another version sometime. But the ones the ones where you find... I know I was looking down. Maybe I should put this up here, even though I don't know about having it on the screen. But it's the ones where you finally meet after a while online, or from a family or friend. It's been a long time. Those who do so much for you, and those who've lost touch with you, will help you through. Yeah, they help you through. Ones you right at home above you. Yeah. 7:50 in the morning, with your love, your dog in your arms. Maybe later, without warning. And this was, I told him about this when he was leaving earlier. He kind of processed it a little bit, and then I said something else. But like this part, especially, I can't believe it. I mean, I know that we have wildfires, somewhat far, but not super far from us, that have been going on for a while, just like wars. But which makes me not want to really agree. But and sorry that this is still a bit of a rough draft. I won't say how new it is, but it's a rough draft. But I couldn't believe when this lyric came out. 10:15 a.m. in the morning. Okay, put your dog in your arms. Maybe later, with love running at the fire, makes you all run out. Those who survive to carry on, to continue life, making memories. Hugs like these, yeah, hugs like these. Hugs from an alley, hugs from an alley, hugs in the valley, hugs from a lover, hugs in the winter, and hugs in the summer. Seasons in between, along the way to reuniting, forgiveness after some fighting. There's been fighting. It's to thank God you made it. So long awaited. It's been a while. It makes you smile. What hugs are you thankful for? I bet some of these. There's a virtual world, there's heavenly. So hold yourself the longest. Others let you give them in person or virtually. And it would feel weird not to say this part, even though there's nobody watching right now, because it's part of the song. And if you want, here's one from me. That's right, here's one from me. I might do that again. We'll see how this is doing later. I'm still in performance mode. I'm still in performance mode. I at least want to try and do the other songs. Like I say, they're not super familiar with me. So if I find that I just not feeling confident enough yet, then I'll do them again. Or I might do them again anyway. But I mean, because every time you go live, it's going to be a different experience. But like I say, I am remembering that just the other day I was rolling from about 2 hours before someone came in and to enjoy it, and that there is always the possibility that people are going to watch after, and they might watch some, they might watch all. Take a bit of a talking break. Because now I think I'm going to be focusing mostly on the song. So at least now it shows that there's a bit of a chat. You lost me. Okay. Now there's nobody here at the moment, or at least it's not indicating that there is. And I just really quickly want to get up because for some reason, I don't want to have to go because people know it. But for some reason, it's still very warm and stuffy in here. And I mean, I can't do much about that, but I can grab another water. So you need to get up and out, Sonny. You just got to this chair. It looked a little lumpy. Let me flatten it up for you. You didn't seem to mind, but okay. Okay, I need to set back down again. So that's good. So I'm just kind of. My teeth can't do completely cold water from the fridge, and I also wanted to finish emptying this bottle so I can recycle it, and then put this one. I don't know. Are they about the same? Yeah, actually, almost exactly. Put that one in there. Put this over there. This over here. Okay. What's next? I'm feeling mildly congested, which sometimes happens when I'm singing and rambling a lot, and did it just fall in there? I sort of feel. Oh no, there it is. Okay. That's one thing about putting it there. I mean, it makes it less easy to misplace it, kind of, sort of, but it can sometimes fall in the process. Yeah, like I say, she has my phone number. My YouTube name, let's see, there's no channel, it's the name. And my name. I just have a Facebook. I can't contact her any other way. I guess it might sound a bit desperate, although it is maybe a little bit. There's a part of me, but then also, I know I was thinking about the other day, like this, one person I'm thinking of, a new contact, her daughter works at a place, and her daughter was actually the one that was able to pull up medical records from me. I didn't have it. But you know what? It truly, you don't have to have it. Although I don't know, they're a bit particular about age and something else. I mean, it was fine, and there's not been any issues. Since it's been almost 2 days with me being there the other day. I think it is a bit more open, and it's also there's not a lot, maybe not a lot of that kind of thing in the city, or I don't know. I don't know. Like when they said that they're going to be stopping the group till they don't know when, they didn't say here's some other options other than the workshop that's coming up soon. So, but yeah, no, I just but the other thing is totally a gift from my friend Ray and probably the others as well, and it's kind of like even though it wouldn't be her that I'm speaking to, and I'm surprised I haven't seen it file. I just never got put in. Also, thankfully. Um, but I just worry that if I tried to connect with her particularly, if I did go by the other name, although if they looked it up, I do sense that what's her face sensed that it's one and the same. And because when she was saying we want to just take note of him when that was here, they only asked for one person, full name in front of everybody else. But maybe they figured she was soft spoken, but they were only otherwise asking for first names. But maybe she already got the other people. Um, but they instead of just approaching her, they kind of asked everybody, but then really only asked her. They didn't call me back. They totally had the opportunity to. Maybe they didn't want to make a thing because they're like, they do other things. But as far as the other lady was moving fairly slowly, and actually, one or both of them saw me hold the door for her. But um, so that one, I mean, there's a slight feeling that maybe not, but mostly I think that I'm not to be there, even though I don't have that health condition, because I've lost somebody that did. I think it makes a lot of sense, but it might affect the other thing if I called. But oh my goodness, finding out that it's what's her face's daughter makes it so tempting just to say, "Can you just reach out to your mother and let her know?" I mean, she's got the information. I mean, if she has one or two older kids at home and a partner, and it was the most interesting thing. She kind of wrote the details down on a thick cardboard tag on a dress. She's like, "I just bought a dress here. Just write it on the tag." Like it wasn't on the garment itself. It was just like almost like a price tag, but I think it was just a brand name. And so, I have thought maybe she accidentally recycled it because that's what she would normally do. And then maybe didn't realize right away. I don't want to jinx things, but I mean, I'm kind of surprised I haven't heard from her. So she's since down, but I don't know if she works on that. But, and maybe one of her other loved ones recycled it and she didn't want to make a mess or go through it or it got taken her. Which reminds me of that thing. There is something else, but I do want to stick with the title. What the title is about. I want to eventually get to it. Um, but um, but I mean, especially because this is so quiet. But yes, I agree. It does maybe sound a little bit desperate, and maybe it is a little bit. Like this shouldn't be so quiet, And then there are times where like 10 people come in at once. Sometimes most of them say something, but some of them do. I do want to go out and do the other thing, but it's still maybe a bit early for that. It's also a weekday, so I don't know if that means anything to this person or not. But the other one, but it's just a quick question. Just a quick question. But that's just about this. But yeah, as far as that, no, especially since I'm thinking it already, it'd be one thing if I didn't think about it at the time. But I just want. I mean, she doesn't know their name. But she can look me up, see if I'm in the system, say, okay, and he goes by a different name now. He's trying to be sneaky, but that's not the reason. So it's best just to, I don't know, it's annoying. It's just like I could ask the old owner of the house nearby what the rental agency was, but I don't really I feel iffy about the person. And, regardless of who asked, somebody could say, you know, how do you know? Like, what's making you contact? Like, but it makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to try the other way first. Um, Honestly, it looks like a business. so they could probably afford to replace it. Just something I noticed the other day. It's kind of bad when it's an agent. Maybe somebody's had a bad experience with them, so like I want to take that from them. I don't want to break in this. I'll just take it. Put it in a whole different neighborhood, kind of. But yeah, it's not an individual. So that although it's a nonprofit, but that's just weird. I not one I actually know very much about actually. Oh, must be more than one thing in that building. Anyway, um, so I've been a little bit distracted. The other thing I might want to quickly do, I should do it after the fact, but I'll do it now. Think about it. Start something else to do. But yeah. So unfortunately, even having that detail, I don't know. Just like the other one being done isn't up to being really the right. She was going in the right direction. You know, um, and that it didn't register. But I noticed that with the comment I left. Oh yeah, it's like there. I did it one, but not the other. Now I think we have someone just tuned in. I'm just very quickly doing something in between songs. Um, and yeah. So the next song I'm going to do though is okay. I think I okay. It went away, and I may or may not know why. Hopefully, it's not because I was distracted, but I may have been with the person, and they may have just not been actually able to. Very familiar. Not been actually able to stay. Again, maybe they intended to like it. In fact, maybe they did. Can't believe I've never had this before. Whoops. Yeah, we got one out of the gates. Motivating angels. Thank you. So I'm trying to decide which song I want to do next because I do have a few ideas. Um, and I think, um, and I have them open here. This one would be a good one to do while there's nobody here. Again, happy for people to hear it. I'd be curious what people thought. But at the same time, I don't know why I never pushed that down. Maybe accidentally. At the same time, it's kind of like it has content that may or may not turn people off. But if they sit with it, hopefully they would actually see the positivity in it and hopefully not warp it. Um, like I know that with this kind of song, some people might. I don't feel like I am, but anyway. So now the original video of this by Ashley McBride, ironically. So I finally get to do McBride song. It spells it differently though. Um, tells a little bit of a story beforehand and speaks some of the part that she's playing in the guitar in the background. One, right. But anyway, and I'm not gonna get that accurate. I just know I'm not. But some people are shy, but they're like, it's good. I did find it. I'd never heard it before, so whether I'm surprised that I found it or not, I mean, maybe a little bit. But sure, but the video, there's more than one version of it online, and they've been noticed by quite a few people and interacted on and engaged, and so it suppose I do the same thing. But I thought it was kind of an interesting story song, interesting theme, and how it was kind of done. And so I'm going to do my best with it. So this is, Gospel Night at this. Actually, I've seen it with two different titles. It's not really a gospel song, honestly. It's just the title kind of fits with the theme, I guess. But for anybody that doesn't like gospel, that's not what this is. And yeah, so I think okay. Oh, coach beside me here. No cable? Yeah, I'm sure that's correct because it always is for me. So it's gone and been sleeping in my car. I lead the singing service with that saxophone guitar. Brandy's singing back up. I saw the Lonnie Anderson name. It seems familiar to me. While Lonnie's tending bar, and I was thinking of there you go. Crystal just started dancing. She's always right on point. Don't mind if you don't tip her, as long as you slip her. Patty's got an upper to get her through her hips, and a downer so she can lay. Hallelujah. Well, Lonnie, he's a listener. He should have been a priest. It's the same confession on the bar still. Makes a mean Manhattan, but he ain't drank some Jackson since '93. There's the last call benediction that wipes the blood off slave clean. Hallelujah. Would you recognize him if he by you appeared? Same word, $30. Keep getting passed around. Whoever needs the most, and I guess that's me right now. I'm staring at this Jackson, something at my feet. That's gas in my old Honda, and something warm to eat. Hallelujah. 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 He laid down in 20. And I do recommend you look up the original version of that song. Because like I say, there was a intro to it that I didn't do. Just couldn't, really. Now, just thinking about how other people, if they'd done this as a performance gig, with the storytelling and the music and this and that, chapter, um, you know, how they probably would have gotten the appreciation and the coins. And I just haven't felt well because I just haven't managed to get out and do that kind of thing. We were still neighborhood. I don't think I still would. But, and Sam's never did open mics, I don't think. That one place was disorganized. A lot of them start late in the weekdays, which not so bad for me. But I really like to be with them because they don't work so much all day. And but there is a group that I'm in that talks about where to find some of them. So I think I'm going to definitely look into that. And that is kind of a good segue into this next song, because I was mentioning something about that, and then there's also something else. So nobody wants to be music. Well, I guess she didn't. She didn't say so. You just better communicate, but I guess she was distracted. But I don't know about the duration marker at this point. But it sounded like I was going to put some music in there and then bring the rest, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And it takes time sometimes. And it's only 10:17. Good golly, Miss Molly. But I'm still trying this experiment. I guess if I knew who, she would have said. Now that looks like it has something new. Yeah, I was sure it said 6 before, but now it says 7. But no luck, no dice, because it's nothing new. It's the same shite on a different day. Just kidding. Marie, Mark, Christine. That'd be ironic. Don't know if I really want to call it that. Especially these songs. I don't know how they're going to come out. It might not come out as good as I think it will, because I'm not at first time playing them. I'll do them on the internet, but I don't know. I understand. There's lots of people struggling. The waits can be long. I don't want to take the time, but my struggles are valid too. And the fact that there's been nobody's really stuck around very long, honestly. Some a little bit, but and nobody said anything. What, do I actually have a live visitor? What are you barking at? Not expecting anybody. I think you just see the tree going around there. Quite busy, actually. I don't want to keep the AC on. Two of our neighbors, well, they live together and are elderly. But people say something which says one looks like you need to organize a bit. Two of our neighbors might love to be here and hear some music, except it's somewhat early in the morning. I think he's used a cane when I've seen him leave the house, which isn't super often that he leaves the house, so he doesn't use a cane. But maybe he does in the house. And she uses a walker. I don't know about when she's inside. The house is not very safe, and it's probably bigger than what they need. But I sometimes think that about us too. But then I think, no, but you know what? We use the space adequately. But she'd have a hard time getting in here, and Yeah, she may not be critical. What I'm going to do is a song um, by Lucas Graham. Um, again, first time playing it, so please be gentle with your listening. And the viewer left. They were there for a few seconds. But no, just to go back to that thought for a moment, I think she'd say thanks for the invite, but he's still sleeping, or thanks for the invite, but you know, we can't do all the stairs up to your place and out of ours, and you know what, just play with the door, but sometimes what they do and don't want to do, or out front, and we'd be happy to enjoy it that way. And like I say, I think, part of me thinks she might just say something simple, sounded good, and part of me thinks she might say, not my kind of song. Well, I just, you know, not just something about the style. Yeah, but did you even sit and listen to the lyrics? I'm foreseeing this, and therefore it wouldn't be worth it. I mean, I could be wrong, but also I'm pretty sure they would struggle, even though they live right next door. I'm pretty sure they would struggle. The ones across the street, we don't really know any of them very well. The other one, I had an experience recently. It was early in the morning, but I thought it was going to rain, or I'd had a bike issue and I was feeling anxious about my bike. And I went and knocked at her door, or rang her doorbell, and I saw her cat was sitting in the window, and I saw her moving inside. I almost thought she looked in my direction, but she didn't come and answer the door. But you know what? I tried not to take it personally, because I thought, maybe she's getting ready to go out somewhere. She really doesn't have time, to chat or to help with anything. Maybe she thought it's awfully early. I mean, it was like 9:30, you know. Um, but she is quite busy, and she's very likely golfing today, I'm thinking. Um, and everybody has opinions, and it's not that I have a problem with people having opinions, but I think that she I don't, again, I could be wrong, but I think that she'd be the type that would kind of give feedback more than appreciation. And I'm not sure if I'm looking for it, but I also think she's probably busy. um I'm, like I say, not super confident with these songs. The one is quite tender and sweet, and it's interesting because it makes me think of not that long ago. Not only did she tell us how old she was, and that we were a little bit surprised she was quite as old as she is, but she also told us that she almost died in her 30s. So speaking of, I've had moments where I thought that I was going to, for goodness sakes, um, you know, um, but she didn't. There are some weird, quirky things about her that make me kind of feel iffy, but you know what? She's also a pretty nice lady. Um, I'd be tempted, possibly. I'd be tempted to possibly stop and come back, but also I don't know what she'd think of. Like, I don't really want to keep rolling if I'm going to be gone that long, especially since I don't have anything to kind of. I haven't figured out yet. I should look it up. I really should, because Macy's too busy with his chat to answer it. I really should look it up. I'm going to. Not right now necessarily, but how to, what would you call it? Insert a intermission into your YouTube video. And I don't really want to restart. And if I did, and she was here, because I'd be tempted to combine, to have a bit of both going on. I don't know if she'd be comfortable with it. I feel like she probably wouldn't be, or she wouldn't say anything because she was, you know. But the opportunity to get it posted. I mean, I could do it later. I could, and but there's part of me would think I want to do it now, and it feels like it's meant to be now. Um, I do kind of have something that is slightly distracting me, though. Um, Aside from that, uh, yeah, I did try to put an intro trailer to one of my videos, and it didn't apply. So just the particular songs, and the one I was thinking, I mean, yeah, I don't know it with the viewers either, I suppose, but at least I'm not seeing them crying in person. Not that it, again, I don't think it's bad to necessarily feel emotion, but I know that she's single, possibly by choice, but I don't know about her past partners. And at her age, I'm sure she's had some and possibly lost some. And just like at the group the other day, again, though, it was facilitated. I didn't know, I guess maybe some of us didn't know if we were allowed or, or if the person would want it, honestly. I mean, but no harm in asking. But, she was talking about her mother's passing and, not saying names. And in fact, usually I remember names quite well. I don't even remember her name anyway. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. I almost do. But anyway, I've seen people cry. I have. But there was something. She just had so much. And I mean, I was pretty close to her, right next to her, you know, thinking about her mother and a horse that she lost as well. There was so much tears in her eyes. Even when she wasn't even saying that much, it seemed like. And I just wanted to hug her. Luckily, when we were leaving and I was talking to the other two, I don't remember if they hugged each other first. I think they did. And then I hugged the one, and then the other one hugged me. And, so speaking of hugs, that's a hug memory I have recently. Um, but, I don't want to stop the song to do it. If I'm not rolling, it's a bit more tempting to maybe. But then, she'd totally be the type, and she may only be half joking, that might say, "So you invited me here to get me sobbing in a sobbing mess? Like I just did my, I don't know if she wears makeup, but, again, feeling feelings is okay. No matter who you are, gender, whatever. Um, it's just to have somebody, because it's a bit of a sad song, you know. Um, how I discovered it, and I subscribed to the individual. I didn't mean to. I just I don't. If she happens to see this, like she happens to check out my contact, reconnect, and say, by the way, I did this song, which is kind of what I discovered you on. And she's very dynamic and diverse. I was thinking of commenting her that actually. In fact, I'm wondering, where's my device? Where is my damn device? And she was doing like those reaction videos. And most of the time she was smiling, but it wasn't the first time she'd heard the song either. And I don't know if this is a very popular song, to be honest. But she also, I could tell she was sensing the Tinder. Um, it's also mostly because this is so damn quiet right now, and it's not motivating me. I know but I'm not seeing them in the physical. I'm not seeing them in the physical. I know that they'll probably hear, but it's not the same. Like I said in the group, sometimes I feel them around me, but it's not the same. I did say that much. I don't know if I should comment or not because it usually specifies when the poster of your channel likes or comments something, like a bit more obviously. And okay, this one does. It's a heart. Out of 76 comments, it's the only one I'm seeing her reacted to. Like I say, it's not like it says a like and I don't know if it's her. Okay, there's another one. But most of these, and I don't like to be the top one, usually. But she's, and I don't know, I don't, what I'm not understanding is why is she being choosy? Like she's reacted to four of them. Like I say, out of 76, so far that's all I've seen. And I've probably seen most of these, scrolled to most of these now. Is it the same with her other content? I wish I could do that insert thing. I really wish I could. But if people see that there's 4 likes and some chats, they may say something interesting is happening here. It's still rolling. Is something else fun, interesting, and enjoyable going to happen? And I feel like I need a bit of time, but I want to keep it rolling because I have it titled already, and I'm in the mode. So at meditation, what was that? How to do. But it's still not going to be going out to neighbors. And the other ones, I mean, one or two maybe. This drinker thing is stupid, and I don't know them that well. That's the thing. And then the other ones moved, and nobody lives there right now. Okay. The other one I saw her leave for work this morning. Um, so I was just taking a brief break before doing a couple other songs and needing something a little bit dry, a shortbread cookie, because I'm Scottish, even if I don't look it, I am. And somebody was briefly there, so I was trying to be engaging, but. Okay, so I got my little note there. People can say, what's going on here? Is there going to be like a grand entrance, Almost 2 hours in, they might say, okay, there's some comments here. Yeah, they might realize they're off of me, but whatever. Hopefully they'll read them. I think there was a slight description in the video. There's the title. Might keep them curious enough to stick around. And I'll be back in a few minutes. But yeah. Right, maybe. Don't know exactly what class was, but they've annoyed me a little bit. So, yeah. luckily this injury on my thumb, I'm able to keep this thumb kind of straight. This thumb. And, oh, it's not getting too irritated. It's Thursday. It's almost the weekend already. Yeah, it was a short week, so that was good. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do something here now that I'm back. Quickly do something on my device. And then I'll do the next song. Too bad he wasn't in the one last night because, you know. Okay. Ugh. Well, you just missed me doing it, probably about 30 minutes into it. But that's very cool. Welcome to come and comment on the video. That, if that's all you have time for, and if you're able to stay for a couple more songs, I might do one that's a little less deep so that you're not crying at work. Remember, anonymity, and yeah, maybe we'll see you there. And if anybody is here right now, and they're like, well, you know, I didn't come to YouTube just to watch somebody typing on their device and being distracted. I have been not distracted for the most part, for most of the duration of this video. But I'm just taking a moment from, you know, just taking a moment. You know, not like you're paying me anyway, but I would appreciate it if you donated. Yes, I'm not asking. It's true. It's true. Is the other phone even here? Because the dog's laying there nice now. You know, like, and he's kind of laying in my path too. But it's also very true that, you know, sometimes I get up. If he doesn't want it, then he can get rid of it. But I think, you know, he wants the channel to do well. Is that the live link that I put? Yeah. Wants the channel to do well, and me with it as well. And yeah, I don't want to make the dog stand up. You know, he might settle down again quickly, but I've also given him a rawhide. So if he didn't, then yeah. Okay. Well, I might have someone I know tuning in, possibly. Who knows? It's something I wish I would have thought of sooner, but it won't be super obvious. So they may be strangers, they may not. And does it really matter? Yes and no. But I think I just got 2 songs left. The one, I thought if a friend tuned in, I'd rather her not hear the one just because it's a little deep and I know that she's at work. And, we don't want her crying at work because it is, yeah. But so far, she's not here. So maybe I should start with that one. And if she gets some of it, that, she wouldn't necessarily require the whole song to be a sopping mess. But, again, emotions are okay, so feel the feels. I mean, I don't want to, make anybody feel like super intense pain, but and apparently this song is more popular than I realized. Although I think I've heard of the performer before. Nobody's here to say it because otherwise you might go check that one out. Instead, Bobby Goldsboro. It looks like it's the one I'm being told to do, so I'll do this one and then I'll do the other one. I haven't had to reload these either, so that's weird. Okay. I don't know it very well, but here we go. See the tree, how big it's grown. Friend, it has been too long. Unfortunately, this is not sounding right. I would love to do karaoke, but even if YouTube itself might pick up that that's what I've done, and might pick up that that's what I've done, and it doesn't. YouTube doesn't seem to really mind it. I know I've had content muted before, but you know what? I know that one of the people in our house pretty good at kind of getting content coverage wavered because it's just it's a rendition or a cover, and lots of people do that, and it's the same with karaoke. I mean, it's there, you know. Sometimes they have more of a backing track, but I wouldn't mind actually singing. I don't know what the original track sounds like, but I think that it would kind of keep me on point. And if it's muted, it would probably just be this section. So, but the one thing is, oh, right, it's charging. I could do it on this. Hopefully, it wouldn't conk out. I don't want to play it out of the same device that I'm recording, just in case it doesn't sound good. In case it sounds distorted, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not even sure if I'm going to find, but apparently, like I say, it's very popular. I just never heard of it. And the person who kind of I discovered it through, not the original singer, or like I say, yeah. She, I like that she's so diverse. I know I was mentioning something else, kind of about the individual. I like that she's so diverse, but there was one thing that I noticed fairly quickly when I went to her channel that she stands for that I have a harder time accepting. So I don't know. But I hope that you'll like this song. Again, it is a little bit deep, but allow yourself to feel the feels. Um, I'm kind of wanting to wait to see if it's my friend that just tuned in because, like I say, I know that she's at work, so maybe I do the less deep one. So feel free to say who's watching, where you're watching from, because right now it just indicates at the top that somebody's watching, and the only person at the moment. It looks like my friend did go out of messages, but again, she's at work. But I don't know if that meant that she came here or what. So I'm gonna do Bobby Goldsboro's song. And if you've never heard of him, that's fine. You might still like it. And then I'm going to do, and if it is my friend, I think she's going to say something. Now there's 2 of you here. So like I say, and if you need, if you're around people, again, we're humans, we feel emotions, and certain things evoke emotions, so that's okay. But yeah, so I'm going to do one that's kind of about a musician rising to fame and kind of reflecting on that. And then this other one I'm still fairly new with. I have an idea of what it's about, but again, music's always open to interpretation. So saying what I did say, even though now we're 2-1, I don't want to prolong this anymore, and I want to have energy to do these two songs still. So my friend's not saying anything, so I think it's somebody else watching. And if it's not, sorry if I make you cry, but I know that you're in touch with your emotions. Even though I think you said what you feel. Yeah. Your hair frizzes not because it's curly. So this one's going to be karaoke, and then I'm going to go back to the guitar. And it is kind of an old song, but whatever. See the tree, how big it's grown. But friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. I laughed at her and she got mad. The first day that she planted it was just a twig. Then the first snow came and she ran out to brush the snow away so it wouldn't die. Came running in all excited, slipped and almost hurt herself, and we laughed till we cried. Always young at heart, kind of dumb, kind of smart, and we loved her so. And I surprised her with a puppy, kept me up all Christmas Eve 2 years ago. Now I'm going to do Lucas Graham. And it would sure embarrass her when I came in from working late, 'cause I would know that she'd been sitting there crying over some sad and silly late show. If you were left, but asleep to that much of the song. And honey, I miss you. And I'm being good. I know it's kind of a bland melody. And I'd love to be with you. If only I could. She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid that I'd been mad. But what the heck? Though I pretended hard to be, guess you could say she saw through me and hugged my neck. I know what that means. I always think it's a funny phrase, but I can just voice it. Came home unexpectedly and cried in the middle of the day. And it was in the early spring, when flowers bloom and robins sing. She went away. Honey, I miss you. And I'm being good. I'd love to be with you. If only I could. I don't know if it muted this already. Hopefully not. One day while I was not home, and she was there, and all the angels came. Now all I have are memories of Honey, and I wake up, which I heard 2 or 3 times recently as a name. And I call her name. Now my life's an empty stage, and Honey lived, and Honey played, and love grew. And a small cloud passes overhead and cries down the flower bed that Honey loved. And see the tree, how big it's grown. Friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. I laughed at her and she got mad. The first day that she planted it, it was just a twig. Just a twig. That was kind of fun to sing karaoke. But like I say, somebody seemed to be interested in the intro again. I don't know if it was my friend who got busy at work, somebody else who got busy with something or whatever, but and stayed for a bit of it. And I don't think I was sounding terrible. So I do wonder if YouTube muted it because it was karaoke. Hopefully not. Um, okay, so I think I'm going to wrap this up with one more song because I've got the one more prepared. So why not? Um, I kind of have two prepared, to be honest. And again, it's just a cover. Um, I don't know. That's a okay, unless it means nighttime. Um, yeah. I was very excited to do this podcast this morning, and again, I appreciate that it's gotten some likes. But I must admit, it's been a bit underwhelming. And it isn't. Sometimes they do quite well, but it's also somewhat often that they're quiet. And I must say, even though I've said some things which contradict this feeling in here, I must say it's not very motivating. I know I have some new subscribers, and just in general, um, I'm also can't believe I never thought to this before. Well, let's wait to see if I hear from her because she was having health issues, so I don't know. I mean, I'll get pictures of it, and then probably do it today actually because I have nothing else to do. Well, except for one other little thing, which probably won't take long, and eating. I do think I need some fresh air though, and it's decent out, but my body is kind of achy. It's ironic that before I went to the group the other day, I'd said I felt like I'd been riding a horse because I was all sore and stiff. I don't know if it's yeah, and basically, okay, there was something I just said that made me think of looking something up, and I typed the city, and that's as far as I got. Then I forgot what it was. Oh right, um, and then I was happened to be around two horse people. Um, I guess that's good news. I mostly feel that's probably still working or busy. If she's not working in the morning, she's busy. Um, there was somebody else. There was somebody else that I don't usually email that I messaged the other day. Oh right, and she's gonna be busy too. I think I'm going to noodle through this a little bit, kind of get myself, into the song a bit. And that way, if somebody does tune in, I'll have that confidence with it. But, I will say this, to the person who I think it was a great point, friend of mine who said, it's nice to be able to have the freedom to just do a video spur of the moment or whatever and not have other distractions or whatever. Yes, when they do well. Otherwise, it's kind of, like I said the other day, I don't just do these for me. I mean, I do them for me, but it's not all about me. We do have somebody here, so I'm going to hop into this last song. I was going to take a few moments to try and noodle through it because I haven't really played it before, but I think that hopefully it'll and the person left, so it's not who I thought it was. And they did. Okay, so I'm good. Oh, but either came back. Okay, so but I can follow simple chorded lyrics pretty easily, and if it doesn't come out very well, then I might just read some and left again. Some of it might just read the lyrics. Mama said that it was okay. You know what I kind of want to do, honestly? Like, I listened to it this morning a couple times. I have, this has been annoying lately. I have 2 pairs of headphones. One of them I think is under here. I thought. Here under a whole bunch of stuff because I was kind of looking for something on the couch the other day that I was very surprised I hadn't found. I'm just going to give this a quick listen to because I think it's not like it's a hard song, but I'm feeling like it's going to be better if I do that. If I do that, rather than try and noodle through it, I'll have more success. The other one's charging, but that's the one I initially saw it in a playlist of. But let me just see here. Yes, I could do the karaoke version again, but I don't really want to take a chance of it potentially getting muted. Again, it shouldn't be a copyright issue because it was just a backing track. There wasn't even backing vocals, and it's a karaoke cover in that case. But okay. No, I don't need advertisements for headphones. But yes, there is something I've noticed about some of Luke's videos. The other option is just to sing along with the video. Their voices are high and squeaky as kids anyway. That's all you need. Don't need new shoes every year. That's a lot, actually. Ooh, all right. Okay. I'm getting into it already. I think I'm just going to sing along with it this way because I'm getting into it. And I'm not one, I don't think the lyrics are here, but I'm not one to just mouth lyrics and not sing out loud. I SOL. So, yeah. Whether I then do a version of it with guitar as well, we will see. Whether I get what I've asked for, even though I have to ask for it, we will see. It's the lyrics are kind of interestingly put together, but I like it, so I do. All right. It starts really quickly. said that it was okay. Mama said that it was quite alright. The kind of people have a bed for the night, and it was okay. Good kids. Daddy told us not to listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, because we were good kids. Oh, no. Mom and Dad, why we never traveled to exotic lands. We only ever really visited friends. Mother to tell her in the summer ends. Really? We never really went buying clothes. Folks were passing by on this stuff in plenty loads. Wait. Folks were passing on this stuff in plenty lords? I'm not really sure what that means. The stuff that I'm not really sure what that means. What do you think it means? I'll do it again. Okay. Mama said that it was quite all right. The people have a bed for the night, and it was okay. Mama told us we were good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, because we are good kids. Remember asking my mom and dad why we never travel to exotic lands. We only ever really visit friends. Nothing to tell when the summer ends. We never really went buying clothes. Folks were passing by on the stuff in plenty of loads. New shoes once a year and then out to play ball so we could ruin them. Really? That's a rough ball. Said it was okay. Soccer, maybe. Mama said that it was quite all right. A kind of people only bed for the night, and it was okay. Mama told us we are good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, because we are good kids. Get me wrong, I didn't have it bad. I got enough living from my dad. No, I don't think you really understand. When I said I want to deal in Hollywood, I told them I'd be singing on TV. The other kids were calling me a wannabe. The other kids started bugging me. Now they're all standing right in front of me. Mama said it was okay. Yeah, she said that it was quite all right. Kind of people have a bed for the night, and it's okay. Mama told us we are good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, because we are good kids. I know which place I'm from. I know my home. When I'm in doubt and struggling, that's where I go. A friend can give me advice when new friends only have a half story. That's why I always keep them tight. And I went, okay. I said, I want to be okay. I said, I'm okay. Mom said, she told me, said it was okay. Said that it was quite all right. I could have a bed for the night, and it is okay. Said we were good kids. Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, because we are good kids. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm actually enjoying rocking out to the original. And I actually found myself kind of fitting the lyric, the vocal stuff he was doing. Da 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 ba ba da ba ba da, shooby dooby dooby doo, la da 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 da. I might go for another 6 or 7 minutes. This mode. Is the AC off? No, it just feels really warm in here. I'm gonna have to go get some fresh air soon and do my thing and thing my do. She's probably think, oh, he's probably done his last song already. No, she's offline. It's a side image. Hey, hey. I was thinking about this song earlier. I think I will do it, even though it's a mouth shake. I don't know all the lyrics. I guess there is that. And this isn't karaoke. I should be looking at karaoke, but I think I know most of them. So it's a little sampling. I was I was playing with my brother and his friends. Ooh, really? I was younger then. Bring me back to when we got. I don't know it well enough, and the drumming is loud for me at the moment. I can't wait to go home. I don't think I have all the lyrics to this, but it's cool to find the original. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Oh, the lyrics are there. And it's actually like a homemade video, too. Like it's video in the background, which is maybe a bit distracting the way the lyrics come in, but I'm going to try it. Me, ooh, baby. Then you're gonna get paid. It's like Applebee's on a Saturday night. And I got you. Ooh, man. Sorry, I'm rocking out here. Nobody's here, but Dixieland Delight. Woo! Name this tune. Fancy Light. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And then when I get paid, it's like Applebee's on a date night. And I got you. Please, my Dixieland Delight. Where we do, it's fancy light. Oh, the weather is holding up, but there's still gonna be some puddles and wetness, and my body's not feeling like biking and or walking that far. It's like Applebee's on a date night. On the top, and I got you. 2 straws, 1 check. I love that line. I'm doing one of those reaction videos. Ooh, this has to plug in soon. She's my Dixieland Delight. Fancy light. I might rock out to one more song to wrap this up. But then I have to plug this in, and I really would like some fresh air and to, wrap this up. Because I'm actually quite feverish. I don't have the shivers. Plus, but I have the aches that feel like COVID, but no real other consistent symptoms. To the heart. 13. I never knew that sounds like yours. Strawberries and something more. You know you want it all. It's in my guitar. Not a cappella because I got this. He's my second buddy. That's fine. Like real fire. Like the stars. You knew you want it all. Ooh, don't be that guy. I've lost time to try and make dreams come true. It doesn't know what's happened, but we'll see. Fire. Day and all night. Yeah, yeah, got me feeling like, ooh, wanna be like, wanna do it like that. I get the fever shivers. You wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. Then they say the party's over, then we bring it right back into the. Love it when you do it like that. I get the shivers. You wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. When we say the party's over, then we bring it right back into the car. I'm the seat of a moonlit dark. Yep, between your legs and arms. Isn't it enough? Back together, take my heart. Love this heart. When do I get enough? Huh, huh. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, wanna be that guy. I wanna kiss your lip. I want to take a smile. I want to fire. I want to sit with you all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. Maybe closer, I get the fever. Want to stay till the sunlight cracks. So we say the party's over, then we bring it right back. Ooh, I love it. Ooh, ooh, I love it. Ooh, I love it. Ooh, ooh, I love it. You wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. Gonna say the party's over, then we take it right back. Ooh, ooh, so hot, I am can shiver like the fire. You got my to stop. You know you make me shiver. You got so hot. Want to stop. You know you make me shiver. I'm singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. So, I get the shiver. Ooh, wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. Dancing at the karaoke venues. Ooh, I love it. Do it like that. Connection's not very tight on the headphones. Ooh. Say the party's over, let me bring it right back to say, ooh, I love it. Ooh, I love it. Sonny's like, you hear it a little bit, Sonny? Yeah, good. She don't think I'm that crazy, right? You forgive me? Yeah, but this one from the karaoke days, actually. This one's just going to be a long one. But I'm not going to go much longer. 7 turns in and just going to say, rewind and enjoy. Do, 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 do. Ha! Do, 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 do. Ha! Do, 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 do. Ha! What's wrong with the world, mama? People like they ain't got no mama. Think the world's into the drama. Drama. Try to stop. You can see what I say. CIA. CAK. Love for your own race. To discriminate and discriminate only generates hate. Irate. Too straight. Say, people love people dying. Hear the children, hear them crying. Don't you practice what you preach, or do you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help me. I did the race dance. Sorry. Got me questioning, where is the love? The love, the love, the love, the love, the love. Strange. I'm saying. Not karaoke, so I don't know it all. I'm sorry. That's just the ones. Ask myself, what's going on? So, living in, and then this is then. So, what you think? You never know love. Where's the love, y'all? Woo! People killing, people dying. Hear the church and you hear them crying. Would you practice what you preach, or do you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help me. Bring us guidance from above. You got us questioning, where is the love? The love, the love, the love, the love, the love. Put some shoulders. Yeah, shoulder. Ooh. Cafeteria. Sorry, I'm missing some good lyrics. I don't remember that part before. One world, one world, one world, one world, one world. Hey, I'm curious about this song. I'm gonna have to plug this device in soon, unfortunately. The other one doesn't need plugging in, but somebody may or may not be able to tune in. I'd bring him over there, but no, I don't want to bring him. I don't know this song really, but can I put this AC on? Good boy, let's see if this friend's able to tune in. But I do have to plug this in very quickly here. Ooh. Surprised that didn't come out. It's a loose connection. And he's not saying anything, but he's seen it. So I'm thinking it might mean he's coming to check it out. But this is really weird. The device went from 6% to 2% pretty quickly. I know that's not a huge jump, but still quicker than I would have expected. So, what does Baby Holy Feet Chance the Rapper? I'm curious about. Okay. I don't really want to die though, but I have to plug in this device. I'm glad that I've had the headphones up around too because I've been actually singing along with an interesting playlist. But at the moment, I'm having to plug in this device, find the next song. I might roll later. I'm actually going to quickly do an errand. See you guys later. Quickly do an errand to practically